now that it's the end of the semester and you've completed your review of learning theories and developmental theories, it's now time to go back to looking at your initial learning theory and see if anything's changed. And what we want to do here is take what you originally talked about and change it and swap it out for some of the terms and understandings that you got from the 4 different learning theories and developmental theories, and making connections between what you originally thought and what you've studied since then. So for example, if you think that students learn best when they're having fun, you can make that connection between that idea and information processing theory, because memory begins when students pay attention to a stimulus, and when they're having fun, that means they're paying attention to that stimulus. So you would want to then translate what you're talking about into educational psychology language. You can review in step 1 for the instructions, review what the personal learning assignment is being graded upon. So let's go ahead and do that real quick. Basically, it's the same as the initial, where are you on topic? Is it in depth in your answer of your learning theory? Do you have an in-depth and detailed lesson example to illustrate it? Is your answer communicated clearly in style and syntax and spelling? Is there a professional tone, and is it formatted or presented clearly? And again, there's some more description about those particular criteria. So we want to again look at an example of the final learning theory and compare that to how it initially started. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to pull up both of these. So this was the original one in the beginning of the semester, and it talked about learning best together in social situations such as group work and discussions. And when students get together and become more engaged in their own process, we found out during the semester that that was social construction, or Vygotskian principles. And so if we look at how we can update that, this person now changed, I believe that students learn best when they are being scaffolded, because learning new information requires guidance and support from adults or more able peers, and brings in Lev Vygotsky and talks about that scaffolding and so on, and also bringing in some of the cultural tools necessary for Vygotskian theory to work, and then talks about a much more in-depth example to illustrate Vygotskian techniques in the classroom versus a more rudimentary kind of example at the beginning of the semester. So that's what I'm looking for, is how does your answer improve and demonstrate what you've learned during this class. So you're going to rewrite the descriptive paragraph and rewrite the lesson plan paragraph, and then you're going to save these in a word processor, submit it to La Lima assignments under learning paper final draft by the due date in the course calendar, and then also post again an attachment of that learning theory so we can see how your ideas have changed. And that's it.